The perfectionism that I want to talk about today is not the kind that you may think like looking perfect or making sure that everything is perfect in your business, but the type of perfectionism when you are trying to be so perfect with your business, taking care of your clients, that you overthink what you should be posting on social media and beyond. That you want to do it so perfectly that you end up not posting anything. Hey, I'm Veronica de Polo, and with more than 15 years being a marketing strategist, you're going to experience the new way to promote your business with clear and unique messaging by giving you actionable marketing and messaging strategies that get you interested leads to transform the lives of your audiences so that you build up your brand with continuous momentum. Get ready, because here's where we say no to outdated marketing strategies and society norms, and we say yes to change from the inside out. Welcome to the Branding Momentum Podcast. What an annoying sensation, not knowing what to do, right? It feels as if you're eating your head with that thought, right? And not knowing what to post, it's a pain in the butt. And the fact is that if you don't know what to post, it can be because you most probably don't know what's valuable or what's interesting to whoever is consuming your content, right? So what's holding a lot of people back is trying to create something perfect. You want this one piece of content to be epic and amazing and great. And it's so much pressure on yourself, but there's also so much pressure on this one piece of content that actually stops you from putting content out. Thinking like, this video, this podcast, this reel, this blog can really change things. This could really put me on the map. This could be the one that really, really makes it. And yes, creating content is hard and time consuming and a lot of work, especially if you know that each social media platform is so different from one and the other one. And they're constantly changing the algorithm. Like, who can keep up with Instagram? Oh, Lord, let's not even get there. And you don't know if the same piece of content is going to resonate in like Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn the same way, right? I also know there are factors like, what would people think if I'm controversial? What would people think if I put that piece of content and it's not connecting the right way? Overthinking stops you from taking decisions. And when you overthink your actions, you end up hurting your business brand. And what's causing the pain is that when you search what to do, you see and hear people like big marketers like Gary Vee or Jasmine Star, recommending that you need to post every single day, or that you need to hustle and then you have to push your content like crazy and 6 times a day, and you feel behind and you feel you're not delivering. And you get caught up in this hamster wheel of decisions that is so overwhelming that it's better to give up and not put anything out there. Believe me, I've been there, okay? When I first started, I thought I had to create mass productions. My poor VA at the time, she burned out because we were doing YouTube, podcasting, newsletters, blogs, designing like crazy, all our posts. And what's so much more important is to actually prioritize the consistency rather than the perfectionism. Because if you're regularly creating content, maybe is the 30th reel, maybe is the 36th podcast that really is the one that actually connects with the right person at the right time, right? I see it all the time here in the reviews, how people talk about my old podcast and maybe from a year ago, and it's the right content at the right time for that person. The thing is that if you don't create content consistently, you remain invisible. And I know you've heard me say this before. You remain the invisible entrepreneur. Why? Because if you are already in the service business, you are an entrepreneur as well. But you gotta be visible. Then you remain invisible if nobody knows who you are. If you don't post, people can't support you. They can't rally behind you. They can't buy your services. They can't recommend you to other people. There is no word of mouth if you're not out there, right? They don't know you exist. So if you want exposure for your service, if you want people to recognize and know you can help them, then why aren't you creating content? And the reason why you're not creating content, it's most probably fear. Fear of what the wrong people will think. Because if you were thinking about the right people, then you would be motivated to create content because they would love it. You would enjoy it. They would support it. And good things would happen because you are coming with that thinking, with that belief. I remember when the Reels came out and TikTok, and I said to my team, and I actually said that to myself, I am never, ever, ever going to do those kind of Reels that look ridiculous. This is a business. I should stick to being a professional. I'm not going to be like copycatting and doing all these sort of things and being silly. And now you see me. I found my comfort zone. I ended up not liking it. I ended up resisting. And then I realized, listen, we are all going this direction. This is what people want to see. I either jump and join them or I'm going to stay behind. And I realized that I'm going to create content that is comfortable to me. Things that I want to do, things that I want to say, things that how I want to say it, but knowing that this is information that my audience wants to get. This is information that my audience wants to perceive, right? So for me, it's all about dancing because I used to be a dancer. So if I hear a beat, I'm going to go and dance it. And if I can add a little bit of humor, trying to, pass a message along, I will do it. Plus, social media is free. We are there to be entertained. And believe me, it took me a long time to understand and apply this. And maybe you're thinking, for me, it's not so much about the fear. It's the time to create that much content that I have to be creating. But instead of listening to so many people, why not start by testing things? And I know you heard me say that we gotta test. Who says you need to post every day? Your clients? Your potential clients? Those people that you haven't signed yet, and those people that you don't even know that you exist right now, there's probably some expectation that you have of the time it will take you to create the quality of content you would not feel embarrassed or fearful to put out. And this comes from the thinking, I don't have enough time to create something as perfect as I want it to be. So that people think, whatever. And perfectionism is ego. And ego is, as Gary Vee says, ego is insecurity in makeup. And we tend to put a lot of makeup when it comes to our egos. Okay? Now, the solution to begin making consistent content and not getting frustrated is that you need to create an action plan. Think of it as your constant testing phase. You plan your attack because every action you want a reaction, right? For every testing content you put out, you should treat it as another test. Let's try not to be hard on ourselves. We are our worst critics, and punishing ourselves won't get us anywhere. Not communicating how we can help others, how we can give them the transformation they want and need, how we can stop their suffering and pain. But we gotta start with us. We gotta preach, as we say. We gotta feel good with our actions, right? And I wanna quickly come here and tell you that if you haven't heard my podcast called Repeating Old Ways Won't Give You Visibility, Shifting Your Mindset Will, please go ahead and listen to it. I will leave the link below in the description. I want to give you final thoughts on your perfectionism. Nothing will change until we change. Nothing will move forward until we make it move forward. You want people to pay you, you want revenue, you want leads, you want sales. You gotta make things happen. You gotta put out content. And one last thing, every day is a new day for you to improve and be better. Every day you wake up in your business is a day to be better than yesterday. I hope to see you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.